Good evening. I am Carolyn Lewis, and this is FBMD Faith by My Deeds. And I'm coming in this evening with a few questions and maybe a few golden nuggets. Um, who am I? As you would ask yourself, who am I? And I'm going to say, learning yourself. When you learning yourself, whether it's at a childlike age, your teenage years, which is kind of difficult because you're going through so much emotional and hormonal change, and the teachers and your parents and the grandparents and your friends and your siblings all have an influence on who you are and who you're becoming. You're starting to notice there's a few things that may irritate you and that you don't like, but some of the things you don't like, you really don't understand why they are. So you're learning people and things and so forth, but you really hadn't learned at that age who you are. Young adults, out of the house on your own, college, what have you, you're starting to learn a little bit more because now you have your feet wet a little bit. Some bills, some responsibilities, and I don't mean at home responsibility like cleaning and taking out your trash and waiting on to make sure you do what your parents have told you. I mean responsibilities as to your employer, not an employer. I can quit anytime I want to and go home. Parents got to be but an employer on your job so that you can be sufficient on your own and pay your own bills. You can't have a temper tantrum, quit and go home, tell mom and dad. You have to get it. Learning who you are and what type of people you want around you. Sometimes we think we're gonna be friends with certain people all our life when you're a kid, but when you get older, you realize I don't like their behavior. I don't like who I am around them, or I don't like how they act around me. And you start shifting and changing friends. So learning yourself, your likes, your dislikes, how you are and how you would like to be treated by other people, that is vital for you to know and to be able to sustain yourself within a relationship as well, to know what you want out of life, what kind of work you want to do, where you want to live, the types of things that make you happy, bring you joy and peace. Some adults don't like sitting still or being at home, while other adults find that I done worked, I done paid the bills, I want to sit home for a while, I want to enjoy what I paid for. Whereas others will go stir crazy if they get off from work and had to go and stay at home. So what is it that brings you joy? What do you like? And that's going to be a large array of things depending on the person. It's going to be different from person to person. Your communication style is going to be different from person to person. You hear a lot of times that in the order of childbirth, the oldest, the second, the third, so on and so on. Your oldest and your youngest and your middle. Well, the oldest child usually has the responsibility of helping out more around the home, or had parents that they was the experimental child, so the rules may have been a bit stricter on the oldest because you was coming up with the parents learning and getting their feet wet with being a parent, so the rules was a little stingent with the first child. The second child is kind of coming in competing with the first, and then just lay back because for a while you the baby and people are catering to you, but you learn in the midst of that to kind of be a peacemaker, how to, well, they're going to take care of me if I don't rock the boat here, or if they into it, I'm going to go over here and get out the way. And then the baby comes along. So not only does that person go through with feeling like, am I still loved? Do they still want me around? But you find you're fitting in there somewhere, and you become that middle ground that's usually, again, even, tempered, kind, tend to go off by themselves and do their own thing, whether it be reading, research, or going off somewhere else. That middle child kind of sometimes, most of the time, has a little even temper. The baby, everybody is tended to, again, has spoiled and catered to this baby. Usually, You may wind up being the only boy of, let's say, 4 or 5 sisters, and here you are coming up the baby. The girls may cater to you a lot, and then again, they may be, oh, get it yourself, you're a boy. So it's kind of dependent. Again, it depends on everyone's family, how you're treated and how you perceive you're treated, or how you are. But with being firm, you can't be firm saying the baby is always spoiled, because there are some individuals who are the youngest and they are not spoiled. They really had to get it because either it was all boys and one girl. You had to walk the tightrope because your brothers was watching everyone around you and watching you. In a perfect world of thinking of the girls being protected and taken care of. And it could be the other way around, where it was not a good experience for her being the baby child and having all older brothers. So again, how you fit in the family, how you was treated, how you perceive that you was treated is going to affect who you are, how you see yourself, what do you think you like, and from what you later learn in life that you do like. So when you're learning yourself, sometimes you need to take note of yourself. And this will change. 20s, you might not like the same thing in your 30s or 40s, and surely you shouldn't like the same things in your 40s and 50s that you were doing and liking in your 20s. You have some growth and maturity coming along the way, supposedly. But anyway, in learning this, what is your communication style? Are you one that uh, always calm, thinking, talking, being logical when you speak to others and wanting to make sure your word get across to others? Or are you like a placater where you just say whatever it is you think other people want to hear, and you get along and don't want to rock the boat? You want to always keep the peace. Are you a blamer when you communicate? You talk to someone, and instead of leaving it a general conversation or saying, you this, you made me mad, you made me this, you took my, you, instead of this is misplaced, or I cannot find this, or I felt frustrated when I couldn't find my whatever it was, you want to blame. You want to blame. Or if you did something wrong, you still blame somebody else because you did something wrong. So those things are in there. Or are you like a computing person who thinks everything with logic, and try to keep all emotions out? It's just A, B, C, D. Okay, forget any emotions. It don't matter how you feel. Da da da. It is what it is what I said. So what is your communication style? Because some of those communication styles are not going to mesh well with others. It's not going to be a good fit. The leveling, talking, getting your point across, and thinking about how your words may come out to somebody else, how they may perceive it, speaking facts and thinking of the concept that you want to get across is the ideal way of communicating. So you can express your thoughts and feelings well, and hopefully it's perceived well from others, because it's not just communication of talking, it's also listening, how you perceive and how you feel when someone is saying certain things to you. If you are a person that was always under the attack, or you feel like you're being scrutinized by someone, whether if they gave you the reason or previous experience in life gave you experience, you learning yourself, that's going to be one of those things. Now, am I always feeling like I'm under attack? And if so, how do I deal with this? What is it about others that make me feel like I'm being attacked? Or what makes me feel like I always got to fix everything for someone else? Or what, why? Why don't I care? Because sometimes you can be in an I don't care and it's about me mode, and that's just, even to your family, it's one of those things nobody want to deal with. That selfish individual, I don't want to deal with them. Nothing matters. So those are the things you need to know about yourself. Are you caring? Are you considerate? Do you care about others? And how are others perceiving you? Take note, take inventory yourself of your characteristics and learning yourself, and decide if those are the characteristics that you want to maintain and keep. And this is a process someone will need help with if it's way down on either end of the spectrum, or if you're learning yourself and learning what you want and yourself in a relationship, from a job, from out of life. Learning these things and having some assistance with them is okay. It's not to say, well, it's me, I don't want to seek any help. It's okay to learn, because you may not understand communications and emotion and how you perceiving things. So it's okay to ask for help when you're processing and learning yourself. It may be something you never thought of off the top of your head to even consider. Well, I get attached easily, or I don't get attached. I bond with people, I don't. That's part of who you are, and you may need to know why your attachment is that way. Are you emotionally stable? Are you not? Are you weary of other people? Why? And what is it about you that you want or need to change? All these things come into place when learning yourself. I'm not going to go on much longer. Learning yourself is vital to being able to have healthy relationships, whether it be with family, friends, or in a romantic situation. You want to know who you are and what you want and what you expect from others, because all these things come from our upbringing, our environment, the communications. What do you learn from others, that outside friends and so forth has came in and had influences on you? It's not just boom, I'm 25 and here I am, like it, take it, leave it. I don't know why I'm like this, I just am, and that's it. No, you won't get out of life everything you want, need, or desire being that type of person. And if you're Christian, you can't just throw it out there like that, because now you're not in the will of God and said who you are. What does he say? What does he say about you? Are you lining up with who Christ has called you to be? Are you what your family is needing you to be? So these are the things you need to take in consideration. Your communications, your characters, how you perceive others, and those definitely, what are your God-given gifts? What comes naturally to you? What do you want to master out of your character, out of your qualities, out of who you are as an individual? All right, so I had some other things, but I'm not going to touch them. One thing I will touch, though, is if you're designed to learn yourself, to improve who you are, to be the very best that you can be, to be excellent within yourself, to be that king or queen, that prince, that princess that you are meant to be. You need to know your ins and outs and why you are like that, because you may find out there's something you don't even like about you that you want to change. Are you avoidant personality? Do you stay away from people to keep them from getting too close, or to actually learn you because you're afraid of what they may learn about you? Or are you one that always feel you got to please people because you need people around you? You just got to behave or carry on the way that you think others would want you to, or to give them something to talk about. It's okay not to give people the daily gossip. It's okay to be safe within yourself and not put on a show. So you need to know if you're acting in a way that gives people something to talk about every day. But again, going back, ending this, learning yourself can be a process of journaling, taking time, taking inventory. When I say journal, don't just write out things. Take an inventory of who you are, how you are, and go back and see if you can date. Oh, I started this as a kid, and okay, well, this didn't happen until I was this and went through this. No, I changed here in that relationship, and I preferred who I was then, or I like who I am now better than it was before then. Because just because a relationship end doesn't mean everything was negative on your end or their end for it. It could have been something that you noticed that is good for you, or that you worked and changed because of that relationship. So everything is not a negative aspect. It could have been something good that came from something that did not last. But what is it that you want in your future relationship? What part of you want to take with you into a future relationship? What parts of you have you learned that you must leave behind? So I'm going to stop there, and I may pick back up with this conversation tomorrow or later on next week. But I hope I left you with some golden nuggets today that you can use on inventorying and learning yourself. And remember, even if it was multiple siblings in a household, you may all experience, maybe you did because you're individuals, experience life differently. Your perspective of who mom is or who dad is, it's going to be different from the next, or who this sibling is to here. Your experience and your thoughts of them, your narrative of them will be different. How you handle the experiences, good or bad, are going to be different. Your perception, your concept of what happened, it's gonna be different. You may agree on some areas of things, and then, but no, that ain't how that happened. Where was you at? Were we in the same house? No, that ain't how that happened. But to them, that's exactly how it happened. And please focus on not making someone think about a person or a situation the way you do, because you don't know how that individual perceived or felt in that matter. It's okay to be different. It's okay to have a difference of idea. It doesn't make either one wrong. It just means they had a different experience than you. And that experience can help mold them into how they do or perceive things today. I'm ending here. I am Carolyn Lewis. This is FBMD, Faith by My Deeds, based on James 2:18. Faith by my deeds. Not just lip service, but by your deeds. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. As you can hear, it's raining pretty good now. That's going to be good. Go and get a nap and enjoy this weather, or finish up what you need to. Again, have a good day. Bye-bye.